Hey everybody, Anthony here, and the footage you're about to watch is the Round 4 feature for Harmony Wastelands 2. Again, I was not able to do a streamed feature, but for Round 5, I am hoping that we will be able to. But in the meantime, we have myself with the Safeguard Cars build I was running the last round, obviously, versus Vangelus and his Dirge shenanigans. So I believe I won the die roll here. I do not remember. We'll see what happens when I draw my cards. But first things first, I gotta put a smoke thrower on smoke screen. That probably would help if I did that and, follow the text on the strat. But in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I can speak, and I am going first here. And this is actually not too bad of a hand. Start your engine's fusion board is pretty decent, but we're going to start by flipping Wheeljack, sending Windcharger after. I believe I went into Dirge here just so that way he could get off the board, but I'm going in for 9 Pierce 1, a very consistent number I've been hitting with Windcharger in this deck. So Dirge will go ahead and take 7 here. And, yeah, nothing else too fancy happening here. This is an orange v orange matchup, so, expect this thing to be over in about 10 minutes, but I'm not going to spoil who ended up winning it here, because, of course, I recorded this, so I already know what happened. We're moving over to Vangelus' turn, and if you haven't read Dirge's strat, basically it gives him +1 health and makes it so his bot mode does not require exact lethal in order to get his bot mode off. So you can overspill on damage or whatever, not having the exact amount, and you still be able to get the ability once per turn, the first time it would happen, essentially. So, moving over to Vangelus' turn, he puts a minor medkit on Dirge and sends Demolisher into Windcharger. Attacks for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Pierce 1. Windcharger will block 1, but then take 3 because he has Safeguard thanks to Obfuscating Cloud. And now Heroic Perseverance has been turned online, which if you did not watch our Round 3 feature, how this works is it gives you an extra star for a battle card, and if a damaged Autobot with Safeguard on your side would take attack damage, it takes that much -1 instead. Really good card. We're going to go ahead and drop a Take the Shot for the Lose the Battle. And we're going to move back over to my turn, and this hand is still looking pretty good with the bracing up and the lose the battle, albeit we did top deck an improvised shield, so I guess we just have more green fodder. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and drop a fusion borer here, if I recall correctly. Nope, we flip Windcharger first. That you always want to remember. Grenade Launcher, since this is an orange v orange matchup, that's actually really good just because of the fact that I'll be able to punch a little more damage through. We play a Grenade Launcher and then play Start Your Engines, flipping both Wheeljack and Windcharger to alt mode. I did that second so that way I did not have to cycle my hand, albeit I probably could have gotten away with it with the improvised shield. And Windcharger punches in for 8, 11 flat into Demolisher. Vangelus, I don't think, is playing any blue, and as a result, that is a dead Demolisher since he only has 4 defense. That's 7 damage total. Always fun when stuff like that happens. And there is a Lose the Battle there, but I don't believe I pick it up just because I already have one in hand. I want to save that improvised shield for something else. We're going to go ahead and move over to Vangelus' turn now. And he will... And do I have this on the... Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I had my mic on the wrong setting, so if you just heard the audio switch, that's why. Vangelus is going to play an incoming transmission. Draw 2, put 1 back on top of the deck, and you can probably guess why Thrust is on the team at this point, because of what is about to happen to poor old Windcharger. Thrust being Thrust, essentially. Spoiler alert. In the meanwhile, we're waiting for Vangelus to put a card back on top of his deck, unless he did, and I was looking away at the moment. Nope, it looks like he has not yet. I know what the outcome of this game was, but I don't remember any of the specific plays. So, yeah, well, this is why I prefer to do things live. I don't have to guess crap like this. I just give proper analysis in the moment. It's nice. It's really nice. Flipping Thrust, what the... I don't remember that. Okay, he must have been looking at something. Let's fast forward to something happening. Okay, so Vangelus did put a card on top of his deck. I just was not looking at the screen at the time while watching this back. Flipping Dirge to bot mode, and I believe he drops... Yep, there's the bashing shield that comes down for no value. Extra defense, and Dirge is looking pretty bad at this point, so... Yeah, extra defense makes perfect sense. Sends Dirge into Windcharger. Thrust gets tapped. So Dirge also has +2 attack in bot mode thanks to the strat. So this is currently swinging for 7 base. Going in for 10 into 1. That's 9 with Heroic Perseverance. It drops to 8, and that is exact lethal on Windcharger. So even without the strat, he was getting Dirge there, which is honestly hilarious. This has happened to him twice now this event, to my knowledge, at minimum. I think there may have been a third time, but I would have to ask Vangelus about what happened there. Anyways, moving back over to my turn. I draw a Cayman for turn. That's pretty decent, but I do want to try and punt Thrust here. Albeit I said a secret action instead. And then I believe I drop a Fusion Bore onto Wheeljack. I draw a card and scrap an Improvised Shield. I just draw another Improvised Shield. Thanks, game. Anyways, Wheeljack will go ahead and flip up to bot mode here because why would you attack with him in alt mode unless you had no other choice? And I do have a weapon in my scrap pile, so I will get the Bold 3 here as well as a white icon. There's a grenade launcher. Sometimes with Wheeljack, I honestly paranoid about it that I don't have a weapon in my scrap, so I had to double check there. I should have flipped 2 more for a white icon. It looks like I actually missed that. And Thrust took 9 there, I believe is the number. 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that seems like the right number if he was blocking 3. So, moving over to Vangelus' turn after I missed a white icon. Whoops. Let's see. He's worried about the secret at this point, albeit it's a bluff. Let's be real. Lose the battle is just a bluff that does something, which is actually pretty good. It is. It's still a sleeper card for sure. Like it definitely works best in melee teams, but it still is a really good card to say the least. Anyways, what was Vangelus' next play? Fast forward. Okay, so his next play was to flip Dirge back to alt mode, which will give him +1 attack thanks to Windcharger being in the KO area. That's right, Dirge's alt mode actually did something. You are not being deceived here. And Dirge is going to punch Wheeljack. There's the bluff and lose the battle. And I believe I grabbed back a... Oh, I grabbed back a Photon. Why did I grab back a Photon Charge? I do not know why I did that. I had the Cayman in hand to finish off Thrust, so... Very interesting decision on my part. Either way, Wheeljack is going to be probably taking 3 here because of the fact that he has Safeguard thanks to Smokescreen having a Smoke Thrower. And then we move over to my turn after I drop this Improvised Shield for a Stormfall Sword. Again, you saw this last match. In a melee deck, it is infinitely better than Piercing Blaster. We draw a Fusion Bore for turn, so I have no shortage of weapon options. But first order of business, Cayman Crash coming down, doing 1 to Wheeljack, 1 to Wheeljack, 2 to Thrust. That gets Thrust off the board. And now it's just trying to get Smokescreen to finish the job here. And at this point, I'm contemplating, do I put a weapon on him to replace the Smoke Thrower, or I decide against it, since I do have Bold 2. And I'm going in for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pierce 1 into or I almost called him Thrust, into Dirge. He goes up to 11 health. He's alive on 3. I was freaking out about alive on 1 because I completely forgot the minor med kit was there. But at this point, it would take a miracle for Vangelus to pull this off, albeit with Dirge, like, this is an orange shell, so it's not the most unrealistic thing, albeit with 2 characters that are power hitters on my side of the field. Very unlikely unless something extremely bizarre happens, or Vangelus drops, I don't know, an End Hostilities or something, which I don't even think he's playing in this deck, so we'll just watch this one out here. There's possibly a concession, I don't know. We'll fast forward here to some action. And that action is Dirge getting flipped to bot mode and swinging into Wheeljack, I believe. Yeah, it looks like Wheeljack is going to be the target. There is an upgrade play, Crystal of Power. So, unfortunately, he will be losing this just because of the fact that Crystal of Power scraps after any battle, which kind of sucks, because if he was able to... Oh, also there's a Focus Fire. There's a Focus Fire. Yeah, Wheeljack is getting punted here for sure, even with the -1. Oh, there's a third Focus Fire. So, currently going in for 7 with Bold 6. Yeah, that's scary. I mean, actually, then again, you could technically do the same thing with Wheeljack, but still, either way, it is pretty frightening. Going in for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, Pierce 1, blocking 2. I take 13, and Wheeljack is very much dead, because even with the -1 from Heroic Perseverance. That puts him up to 16, and he is down. And now Smokescreen has to finish the job. Dirge will get a second attack here just because of the fact that he untaps. And then we move over to my turn after the Crystal of Power gets removed. And at this point, I do not want to screw around, so I believe I just drop a Fusion Bore onto Smokescreen. Yep, there's the Smoke Thrower going away for a Fusion Bore. That's Pierce 3, and that is game with no secret actions on the field. I have taken game 1 in about 9 minutes. Let's move over to game 2. Okay, so we have finished sideboarding for game 2. I will draw my opening hand. I am going second this time around. And we will go ahead and see what Vangelus has planned for first turn. It probably involves flipping Demolisher and sending him after probably Smokescreen, if I remember this correctly. So let's just go ahead and fast forward to when something happens. And that something, as predicted, is flipping Demolisher to bot mode and sending Demolisher in here. I believe the target was Windcharger again, but I do not recall exactly. Yep, target looks to be... Oh, nope, wait. Waiting. Sending Demolisher in, finally? There it goes. And the target is... Again, I don't have the audio, so I can't say exactly what it was because I don't record the audio when I do recorded feature matches. Looks like the target will be Windcharger, though. Going in for 2 so far, and then 4 more cards off of Demolisher's ability. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 into 1, basically anywhere. I'm basically taking 3 no matter what. And it looks like, yep, Windcharger is taking the damage here, and we will move over to my turn after Vangelus contemplates both the Bashing Shield and the, the Focus Fire. And speaking of, he'll go ahead and pick that up, dropping an Improvised Shield for it. We draw Turbo Boosters for turn. It's not too bad. We're going to flip Wheeljack to bot mode and set a Lose the Battle, potentially. There is a Fusion Bore and a Photon Charge in there, so setting that will not affect Wheeljack on future turns, even if I don't flip any more weapons. And we're just going to go ahead and send Windcharger after Demolisher here, just to try to see if we can get it to a threshold where attacking him without a weapon, will get the KO. And we're going in here for 10 Pierce 1, blocks 4, wait, no, that's at 9 Pierce 1, 7, was there a number that I missed? I must have miscalculated something. Either way, Demolisher's taking 5 here. I dropped a hold the line for, or was it a hold the line? I dropped something for that Stormfall Sword for Wheeljack, so I at least have something to slap onto him when either Dirge or Thrust attacks here. Plus, I, of course, have that bluff in Lose the Battle set to, just make Vangelus a little paranoid about dropping just anything, because who knows what it could be. Well, let's be real, in an orange deck, there aren't too many secrets that it could be. Usually it's Hold the Line, Turnabout Snare, or Lose the Battle. Or in Decepticon teams, even the score, so yeah. Anyways, Dirge is going to flip to bot mode, and let's see what the action in the upgrade are going to be. I forgot what the terms were for a moment. There's a Crystal of Power coming down onto Thrust, so, yeah, that's going to hurt a lot. Because that's a +6, that's 10 base with Thrust, and I'm thinking, yeah, Windcharger's going to die here. Rip. And we're going to go ahead and, oh, God, I am tired all of a sudden. Let's just fast forward to, oh, wait. Nope, okay, we're going in with Dirge and Thrust at the same time into Windcharger. Obviously, there's the Lose the Battle. I think we grab back the Photon Charge here, but nope, grabbing back the Fusion Bore instead, just because drawing a Cayman Crash outs Demolisher on the field. So, Dirge is going in for 4, 10, 11 Pierce 3, because Dirge does naturally have Pierce 1. 11 Pierce 3. That will get reduced to 10 and then to 9 off Heroic Perseverance. Either way, Wind Charger is gone. And Dirge's strat actually mattered in this situation because I think Vangelus was 1 over on damage. So the strat actually mattered there to get a untap. And then we move back over to my turn here in a moment. And there's the draw for turn. And, hey, would you look at that? Gaming Crash. At this point, I'm on the floor laughing because that is about the best top deck that I could have gotten. And Gaming Crash comes down doing 1 to Smoke Screen in order to pop Demolisher. And we have a fusion board to get through Thrust Defense Shenanigans. And we do have a weapon in the scrap pile, so Wheeljack will get the full bold 3 here. And you can probably see where this is going. So fusion board onto Wheeljack. And we're going to go ahead and send him after Thrust. And hopefully this time if we flip a white icon, there it is, we won't forget it. Albeit we only flipped 1 orange icon, unfortunately. So this is only 9 Pierce 4. So we're not getting rid of Thrust this turn. But hopefully Smoke Screen is going to be able to do cleanup duties. Also, fun story. I don't know what it is, but like every time I say Smoke Screen, I almost accidentally call him either Safeguard, Smoke Thrower, or Sunscreen. I don't know why I do that, but Smoke Screen is just like one name that I always just, yeah, you get the point, but I'm weird. Anyways, Thrust has taken 5 damage here, and we're going to move back over to Vangelus's turn. There's the draw, and what is Dirge going to do? There's an incoming transmission, so that'll be a draw 2 and a likely plan 1 if there's an imp. Well, likely he has to technically put a card on top of his deck. Well, not technically. You get what I'm saying. I'm not sure if a card has been put back on top of the deck. Oh, there it is. And then what is the upgrade going to be for turn, and is Dirge going to flip? He likely will just because it's a +1 attack bonus. There's a Cosmic Rust Cannon going on to Thrust. That's always frightening. And Dirge flipping? Dirge flipping? There's Dirge flipping, and Wheeljack is probably taking 3 here because good old Safeguard. You see, this is what happens when Smoke Thrower gets left on the team, and what happens when I don't play Scorp. Scorp, if you're watching this, screw you for the last round. Well, round 3. You know what I mean. Anyways, yes, I am going to keep calling him out on that because I am still annoyed by it. Anyways, Wheeljack takes 3 off of Safeguard, and Smoke Screen has got some work to do. We do have a Supercharge in hand, though, but we will go ahead and drop Wheeljack first. Accidentally draw him and not drop Wheeljack, drop a Turbo Boosters. We'll upgrade him with it, we'll draw a card, and then just scrap the whole line we draw. Not really too good there. We'll then Supercharge, Smoke Screen, and send him after. I believe I went into Thrust here just to cap Vangelus's damage potential here, just so that way one of my guys couldn't be one-shotted. And that is a butt ton of cards. Base 2, bold 2, bold 2, 3, white icon. Yep, that is a legal flip that's going in for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that is a very dead Thrust. And now Dirge is the only character left on the field, but Wheeljack is going to be attacking in here because Dirge is the everybody's tapped. I'm losing my mind again. Anyways, Wheeljack goes in for 6 Pierce 1 into, I believe Dirge only has 1 defense in this mode, but I do not remember exactly. He should be taking 5 here if that's the case. He might only have 2 defense, or he might have 2 defense. And it looks like he does, so he's taking 4 here. He is a third of the way dead, barring any minor medkit shenanigans that Vangelus might be holding on to. And we are going to untap and move back over to Vangelus's turn here in a moment. As I almost accidentally draw a card for my turn, and I actually go and do it there, and then I realize, wait a minute, it is not my turn. I promise I'll put that thing back eventually. I am an enigma, ladies and gentlemen. I am an enigma sometimes. Anyways, he's showing me the ready for action that he just drew, because he's like, oh, so now I draw it? This game is weird sometimes. I mean, you saw earlier with the, with Ozzy constantly missing Metroplex triggers, and then Scorp somehow having Smelt glued to his hand on turn 1. In the meantime, a Fusion Bore and I believe double Focus Fire comes down onto Dirge here. And he is going to punch, I believe Wheeljack is what the target was here, just because he's the damage dealer. Going into 2, if that is the case, but with -1 defense off of Heroic Perseverance. And I believe, yep, target was Wheeljack, so I take 7 damage here? Yep, 7 damage. And one note on Heroic Perseverance I'm just going to bring up quickly as soon as I get the card pulled up, because I just need to make sure this is how the card works. Where are you hiding? Yeah, so Heroic Perseverance can reduce attack damage of 1 to 0 based on how it's worded right now at the time of this being uploaded. Put a Stormfall Sword on the Wheeljack, flip into bot mode, send in Smokescreen first. There's a pretty decent flip for 7 Pierce 1 and a reshuffle. 7 going into 1. 7 going into 2. Takes 5 on 9. Wheeljack has Pierce 3, and that will be game. So let me just make sure that the thing gets... if everything gets cleared up here in a moment, I believe this was the end of the game. And actually, yep, it looks like it is. So, with that being said, that was the Round 4 feature. I managed to defeat Vangelus 2-0 in a pretty convincing fashion. I hate to say that, but that's what happened. I mean, there's no really beating around the bush there, I can speak. So, that'll do it for this feature. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw here today. If you did, there's a little red button you can push down below to show that. Plus, of course, there's the link in the description to the main channel. Be sure to go check that out as always. And hopefully we will have the Round 5 feature up soon. Sooner than you think, probably, as well. I just need to confirm some time details with Legendary and Zero, who are likely to be on the feature. But if not, it'll just be my Round 5 match versus Bill instead on a recorded feature. Plus, you're going to want to stay tuned here because we have some major broadcasting news that you are going to want to be paying attention to if you're interested in hearing about what is going on with the Omega Invitational that was recently announced. I can't say anything more right now, but you're going to want to stay tuned to hear for certain informational bits. But with that being said, that will do it for this feature. Peace out, y'all.